Hmm. I hear a lot of talk about, you know, millennials being lazy and not wanting to get jobs and all of this other bullshit, you know. But first of all, millennial, it's just a made up notion. So, it's not actually a thing. So let's just get that out of the way. But, if you take, the substance of what these people are saying, they're basically saying people born from, what is it, 1985 to like fucking 2000 or some bullshit. I don't know. But, they're basically saying these specific people, out of the entire history of the human race that goes back to 200,000 years ago, are lazy, right? They basically, that frame of mindset, I can just tell by that statement alone that their entire apparatus for, making a thought, their entire thought process is suited only and purely for capitalism. They've been socially engineered and socially conditioned by their parents and their parents' parents by capitalism. And it makes sense because, you know, look at the history of, America. America's what, 200 years old? You know, all of those people in that entire span up until now have been raised on this mentality of hustling and getting money by any means, work and hard work equals success. When we all obviously know that that's bullshit, but, you know, these people, they've never had the thought in their head, they never made the thought that capitalism is a flawed system and eventually it would meet its limits, which is now. You see, millennials, they're not lazy. It's just that they're realizing that capitalism is an extremely flawed system and that capitalism is reaching its limits. It's only so far, it's only so much that you can, let a small class, a small group of people butt fuck the entire majority of everybody else, right? It's only so far you can have a society where there are obese people and people shitting on golden toilets, but in that same society there are people that can't even get clean water, that can't even, don't even have clean water to drink, can't even get, food. It's only so much that it can happen, right? And so, you know, millennials, they're realizing that no, you don't, I don't have to spend my entire only life working and busting my ass and kissing ass just to make scraps when there are obviously and blatantly, rich kids that inherited their money, that never worked a day in their life and never will work a day in their life, but have an exponentially bigger number of things that they will never have. And so it's like a slap in the face. Everything you've been told is a fucking lie, right? And so millennials are waking up to that bullshit. It's not that millennials are lazy. It's that the people before them, they obviously weren't thinking ahead. They weren't thinking ahead, right? And so, you know, the people before the millennials, they have this outdated mindset, this obsolete mindset that capitalism is just going to go on forever, that a nation which runs off of capitalism will not fail. You see, a lot of every ancient civilization thought they were invincible and they could not fail. Rome, the Aztecs, the Mayans, they all failed. All of those empires fall. All those empires fell. But you see, you know, the younger generation is, now awake to the fact that capitalism is failing, it's reaching its limits. It planted seeds of its own destruction, you know. And so the people, the younger generation's parents and grandparents, they're telling them this outdated information when it's bullshit, because you're telling your kid to go to college for 12 years in order to go work for somebody, when if they go to the college for 12 years, by that time the singularity has already happened, where technology has become cheaper to produce. Technology advances at an exponential rate, and that jobs, the majority of jobs are taken by technology. So by the time that kid gets out of college, they're fucked, because their mind has been, structured and molded to fit a outdated, obsolete system that doesn't fucking work anymore. And so, it's gonna come a time where, the basic modern day capitalism system is not gonna fucking work anymore. There's either gonna be some type of implementation of a universal basic income, because the notion of working for your money, it doesn't apply. It's obsolete. It's just like whenever the invention of the car, people saying, well, what about the jobs for horses? There are no jobs for horses, because we have cars that do what the horses do at a more efficient rate, so they're obsolete. We don't fucking need them anymore. So, it's just that people need to adapt their minds. People need to be critical thinkers and analyze the situation and analyze others' mistakes, analyze the past, because those who are ignorant to the past and ignorant to history are doomed to repeat it. And this is not like, it's not like this is in some far, future. No, this stuff is happening now. I mean, you go to Walmart and you see these automated cash registers, these automated cashiers. It's not like, oh, it's just some shit we're never gonna have to worry about. No, this stuff is happening now. I mean, we're editing genes. We're editing genes, for crying out loud. There is this thing called CRISPR, where you can literally edit genes to your liking, right? So if someone has a genetic predisposition to a certain type of cancer, all you have to do is just type in, the DNA, right? Just like a code on a computer. Find where the code for cancer is, highlight it, delete it. Now they don't have cancer anymore. They can't get cancer. Like, if you want a baby with green eyes that has good genetics for muscle building, they can literally give your baby a myostatin deficiency to where it can have an increased ability to produce muscle mass. You can create and literally create a world champion Mr. Olympia baby, like a designer baby. Like, you know, this stuff is insane. So you think with that type of technology, that the old school capitalistic, you know, that old school style of capitalism where you have a bunch of workers busting their ass and kissing the ass of one motherfucker, one greedy, psychopathic, you know, motherfucker just on the top, reaping all the benefits of that hard work. I mean, if you think that's gonna keep continuing to happen, and you think that, you know, there's not gonna be anything, you know, to, you know, stop that from happening or basically interrupt that cycle, you're a damn fool. You know, you're a damn fool if you think that this shit is just gonna keep happening and keep happening without some type of downfall, you know? Because like I said, yeah, every American, yeah, they think this shit is just invincible. They think this shit's invincible, right? Just like every Roman did. Just like the Aztecs. Just like every other ancient civilization that thought they were invincible because they were nearsighted. They didn't see, right? They didn't see what would lie ahead because they were so caught up in the moment of their current economic system and societal system. They only saw the upsides of right now, and not that the system that they are so invested in has actually caused its own destruction from the start, from its implementation. And that's the same thing that's happening with current societies, Western civilization, America, for example. I can see it. You look at society and you just see it. And it's all the same. It's like picture perfect. From the outsourcing of jobs for cheap labor, you know, from the distractions in media, with this corporate media, you know, distracting you from things that actually make a difference, you know. See, they keep you distracted with bullshit like race and fucking sports and fucking just bullshit. I don't give a damn about that bullshit. What I give a damn about is that one fucking motherfucker can say some fucking bullshit and be like, and blow up the whole fucking world. That's what the fuck I'm worried about. Why is so much power in the hands of one person? Right? But anyway, I digress. Capitalism is not this invincible system that you've been raised and bred basically to believe. You know, capitalism to people in America is not just the economic system. No, it's like a religion. These people worship capitalism. They worship the act of manipulating their own people for monetary gain. They actually don't care about the actual well-being of their society. They don't actually care about the well-being of their fellow human. They literally will cause the destruction of their own environment for an abstract concept that doesn't actually exist, that doesn't actually have intrinsic value, because it's only so far, it's only so much times you can pollute your only, you know, water source. It's only so so far that you can, you know, screw everybody over. It's only so far you can pollute the air, you know, poison the food. Because once that last drop of water is polluted, once that last molecule of air is polluted, once that last crop is poisoned, what are you gonna do? Eat the money? What are you gonna do? Breathe in the money? No. It's just gonna fucking cease to exist. Because in actuality, I mean, the monetary value is actually controlled because it's a manufactured product. It's literally privately owned. The Federal Reserve, it's a private owned company. So I mean, you're running around chasing this piece of paper when it's actually controlled. So basically, another man is controlling literally whatever you do, because you'll do anything for money. But another man is controlling the movement of that money. So what happens when all that shit is gone? You have a bunch of brainwashed idiots, you know, a bunch of, you know, ruins from the nature of capitalism, which is manipulating, getting over on people, exploiting people for monetary value, regardless of the destruction that it causes to your environment. I mean, like I said, man, capitalism, the nature of capitalism, the nature of the current economic system and society, it basically, you know, like I said, sows seeds, plants seeds of its own destruction.